Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Put one in the chat if you can hear me. Right, right. So, starting to read some of these email messages, and some of these really nice messages that you guys have sent. To be honest, I broke down. It actually broke me down. Um, I didn't think that me coming out and saying that I do have something with my mental health. That's something that's real big. But I noticed something. I noticed something with that, and I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better by just even saying that, hey, maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have a problem with my mental health. Maybe I do. And it makes me feel better to be able to say that. It really does. So, with that being said, where do we go? I mean, where do I go from there? I was reading a message a while ago, and beautiful lady, a beautiful lady was messaging me and just talking to her, and she was like, telling me some of the things that's going on in her life, and I was trying to tell some things going on in my life, but do I really want to put something on somebody like that? I mean, I have to think about that. You know, do I really want to take someone who, to me, is normal and have her have to deal with my problems too? I don't want that. I don't want that. I can't put nobody through that. I can't do that. Last night, I was invited to a chat, and I wasn't even watching. I wasn't watching the. I wasn't watching the. I wasn't watching the stand. I wasn't watching nothing. But I was invited, and I was like, I didn't know who I was even on a panel with, and then I seen BDAC up there, and I thought about it. And I was like, you know, it used to be one of my mods. BDAC used to be one of my mods. I never hung out with BDAC. I never got to, message BDAC back and forth. I wanted to. I really wanted to. I remember he sent me a message. The first message he ever sent me was, "Hey, this is Ben. Ben so and so. I ain't gonna say his last name." And it really hurt me. It really hurt me when I look back at that message. I just looked at that message again just a while ago. Maybe if I'd have got to talk to him and let him understand who I am, maybe things have been different. You know, unfamiliarity is what it is. I've done some things, guys. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't say I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. Not by no means. I would have given anything to been able to do the medallions. I paid over $500 just for the molds to try to get those out. And the trolls destroyed me on that. Bomb rushing my email saying I had an order here, order there, order there. They took and made me think that I had like 30, 40 orders, but they was bomb rushing my email trying to pre-order. And then they was canceling. They would send $3 or $4. I can show you. And then they would actually like pay for like the 100 and then go ahead and go back to PayPal and refute the $100 just so PayPal would shut my account down. That ain't right. That ain't right. Um, I have all that. I've been up all morning long. I have a meeting with my lawyer um, after church. He's going to call me. He's supposed to call me after church, and we're just going to, just go over some things. What the next steps is, because tomorrow starts a whole new light. It's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. I don't want to do this to these people. That's not my character. Never has been my character. But if the shoe's on the other foot, look what they've already done to me. Look when I was making, it ain't big money, but when you're using your own gas and you're making, 150, $200 a day doing DoorDash, Uber, stuff like that, it's still a substantial life. You still live off of it. They called in. You want a murderer working for you? You want a murderer working for you? Over and 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 over. They would even make fake calls and do stuff like that and got me fired. Got me fired. The security job I had, I loved that job. I loved it. I would drive an hour and 20 minutes to work every day and an hour and 20 minutes back just because I love the job. What happened? They found out where I was working at. They got me fired. That's 3 jobs I lost within just a short time. If you look at my resume, it's impeccable. I have a very, very nice resume. My licenses are legit. My certifications are legit. Those PPS licenses I held that ran out here just last year, 21, and December 31st, 21, that's a real license. I can still get them back. My bail bondsman license, which is also bounty hunter license, they don't run out to the end of this year. But what good does it do to try to do anything if as soon as you step foot out in this world and you get back into the workplace environment and you're getting fired? You can't live off that. So why would I want someone now? Or I would love to have someone, but why would I put someone through that? I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that. When BDAC said what he said last night, a lot resonated, and I understand him, but I never got to talk to him, especially got to see him. I mean, I seen him on the news a couple times and in some magazines, but I had never seen him I'm not talking about those kind of magazines, but I never seen him in those, that kind of light of day. I didn't know about his health issues. I feel sorry for him. I do. I feel sorry for him. I didn't want to run him off panel. I didn't want to do that. But the fact of the matter is, when it stands in court and they say, hey, why did you attack this man for? Why did you attack his mental image for? Why did you do that? They're going to lose. Each one of them will lose. They'll drop. But why go through all that? Are you guys going to push me to that? Because I'm going to tell you, if you do that, it's not going to be the nice me like you see right now. I'm going to be heartless when I do it. You don't want to see that with me. You don't want to see that. I've not been paid nothing from YouTube. YouTube owes me $7,900 and so many odd dollars. My AdSense is not working. All my stuff's not fixed, so I can't get that. That's held. That's held up. That's held up. I don't have no money like that. BDAC's got hundreds of thousands of dollars. He'll never know what it's like to face the turmoils of life and walk through that. Because for the longest time, he's had it give to him. No, I'm not saying he's not worked for it, because he has worked for it. He made something out of himself. He's got kids. I'm sure they're very productive. But I can't take myself and degrade myself down enough to say, bad things about that man because I can't do it. Because I never knew that man. I never knew that man. I never got a chance to know him. Before, when he first turned against me, I was trying to get up with him. I was trying to get up with him. It was too late. So guys, for you creators out there, reach out to your mods and try to get a one-on-one relationship, kind of a professional relationship with them. See what they're going through. If anything you can do to help them, because that's the best way. Communication is key. I lost him on account of that one reason like that. I know that is. Because if I got to talk to him and if I'd got to have a heart to heart with him, things might have been different. But if he'll take my advice, I don't say advice. If he'll just take up on that one pointer I give him, go look these people's backgrounds up. They can hide behind the jailhouse mentality of it all. They can fool anybody, the jailhouse lawyerism of it. Don't let them pull you astray, BDAC. I'm not saying you come suck on me or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. Do your own homework. You're a smart man. Do your own homework. And you'll find out that life ain't greener on the other side. That's a fact. Now, with that being said, I do have, mental health problems. I do. And I'm just now starting to realize that. For the longest time, I was like, well, I'm strong enough. I can overcome this. I can overcome that. I can pull myself out of it. And this is a word I don't like even using in my vocabulary. I can't. You know how hard that is for me to say that? I mean, you're looking at whatever they want to call me, Chief Lightning Tiger Thunder Thief, saying that right now. I can't. Because when it happens, it's a trigger. Something triggered me. Yes. But look what all these people want to do to me. They want to trigger me. They want me to see something that's going to be I'm going to be honest with you. That confession the other night, I had never heard it. I had never even wanted to hear it. That done something to me. That done something to me really bad. And I should have never listened to that. I was always one like, oh, I can handle this. Oh yeah, I've seen my friend get killed. I've seen my friends get killed and stuff before, and I've had, handled it. But there's only so much that your mind can handle. It's only supposed to take so much, and then it cracks. When my brother held that gun out to that 3-year-old child, that woman walking across the road, and he said, it's just going to be pop, pop. All your training, everything you've been through, who you are inside comes out at that moment. Because if you don't do nothing, and you sit there, and you do nothing, you lose. When he held the weapon out, I remember exactly how he held it out. Put it out the window, his arm went across it. I was watching where it was at. It was on his funny bone. It was actually on his funny bone here where the windowsill was at. And I said, you're going to shoot her twice? I told this in court. And he said, no. He said, the first one's for the kid. When he said that, it went all over me. I was like, he's going to actually kill a kid in front of me. He's going to kill a kid. And I looked at the evil grin that come across his face. I looked at my rear view mirror. I looked over and I looked right directly at the trigger. And I watched his finger leave from the trigger position, on into the cylinder of the trigger. When his finger entered into the frame of the trigger, I watched him put the finger on the trigger. I watched him do his mouth fire. Okay, right there it is. And I watched him turn his head to take aim. The woman stopped, froze, put her hands up like this right here. Her little boy right beside of her. What went through my mind at that point, I was going to kill us both if it took it to save that kid. I was going to kill us both. I remember looking in the rearview mirror again, and I thought I seen an undercover cop a couple cars back. I was looking, the light was red, and I was like, and I gunned it. I tried my best to get him T-boned. I tried to get his T-boned. Hit. Car missed, swerved out, run off the road, run out to the side. I stomped the gas trying to hit into it. It moved out of the way, and by the time he did that, he went like this right here, and he had the weapon in his hand. He done this right here, and he hit his hand, and he throwed the weapon up under the seat. I was going up the road, and I was going about 85 miles an hour up that little road in Harlan to 45. I already hit 85 in that car. It's, and I was just going to run him straight into something. And I remember him doing his head like this. He was like, "Brother, thank you so much. Thank you so much." And I was like, "Damn you, damn fool. What in the world are you coming back to? So what's going on? What the hell's going on with you?" His exact words when he looked at me, he's like, "There was too many witnesses. I didn't have enough bullets." That's no joke, guys. That's no joke. When I got him back to where he was at that night, his wife or his girlfriend, fiance, whatever. And you guys do know he always went after my exes, right? Yeah, he did. He went after my exes. He was married and still trying to go after another one of my ex. The woman he married was my ex. Think about that. Think about that. He always wanted to be like me. That's why he tried to dress like me. His only problem was I never wore tennis shoes. Never. I don't wear tennis shoes. I've always wore boots. You plainly see in that picture that guy walking that night, white tennis shoes. My brother's shoes, white tennis shoes. He loves white tennis shoes. He loves the color white tennis shoes. Now, whatever people want to say about that, they can make up their own conclusion with that. But I'm just telling you bits, pieces of this story that what brought me to who I am now. When all this went down, after we got back to where I let him off in Corbin there, I'm sitting here like, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? I mean, I'll just say, I just protected my family. He was going to kill my dad. He was going to kill my mom. He was going to kill my uncle. He was going to do all this stuff. And I just had to come up with these different schemes. And all they was just time builders, to try to let time pass a little bit so I could come up with a plan. I mean, it was a walking nightmare. Savage line. I remember when I first done it and I put the report out about him and who he was. The justice system failed the community. They let a savage line loose to prey on a small, helpless, poor, helpless community is what they did. Unaware of anything that was even going on. A killer walking is what they did. Did not care. Only thing he cared about was watching the last air go out of someone. He said that was his new high. He just didn't tell me. He told many people that. So after I let him out, I'm sitting here and my head's just like, what is going on? Everything's starting to put piece, and you see all these puzzles just coming together. All these pieces just fitting in this timeline. I never knew anything about Ronnie King till that night. I never knew anything about it. I knew he'd been killed, but I didn't. That's just from Everest News, small talk news, topics. Here's the thing. That's how I found out about everything was topics. At the time, we had a thing called topics. Topics knew everything about what was going on, except for how Ronnie was killed. Tell me how my brother know what the missing pieces was. What Topics didn't know. The police hadn't let anyone know anything about how he was killed. So how the hell did my brother know exactly how he was killed? You see? So when I let him out, I got back in the vehicle. And I'm in a walk. I walked around the car a couple of times just try to get some air. I was like, I can't believe this. My brother's a killer. I mean, Guys, I'm gonna be honest. When he told me what he done and what he had done to that man, I couldn't. From that point on, I don't even think he was my brother anymore. He was more demonic than anything. So getting back in the car, my phone's ringing. It's my brother. I answered the phone. He said, "You see that dude standing up on the side of the ramp there, holding a sign, 'We'll work for food'?" I looked and I could barely see a little bit of a sign. I said, "I see him." He said, "Watch his head splat like a watermelon. I need to practice," he said. I heard him fooling around with the chamber of the weapon. I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on? What in the world's happening?" I said, "The dude, don't do that. Don't do that." I said, "Save your bullets. You'll probably need them." That's what I said. He said, "Yeah, you're right." He said, "That bitch is calling me anyways. I've got to go." The only thing my brother knows how to do was get on the interstate and drive from exit 87 or wherever he was at to exit 25 or 29, exit 29. Sorry about that. He didn't have a driver's license. He had like a permit or something. Do you know they found there was a girl that went missing in Lexington? My brother tried to sell Ronnie's jewelry to her. She tried to jump him out. She tried to get him jumped by a bunch of gang or something like that. He pulled a weapon out. He told this story. Do you know that girl was found dead on the side of the road? She was found dead. Did you know her earring was in my brother's truck, with his wife's truck? You guys didn't know that. My brother talks about how he killed her, how he shot her up full of drugs and let the air pump up in her. And he said as she's sitting there shaking and dying, he's looking at her. He's like, "You're dying, bitch. How do you feel? How does death really feel? I get to watch you die," he said. He told that girl that as she died. "This is what you get, ho." Imagine that. Imagine when I was riding in the car with him and he was talking about all the stuff he'd done, people he killed, and how he got out of it, how he got away with it. There's enough evidence, not enough evidence, not enough evidence. People in prison he'd stabbed, got away with it. The guards and stuff that he broke them up, how he broke them up, how he took the guy's pen out of his hand that was in prison. One of the prisoners pulled their pens out of their hands, trying to stick the guards in the neck with it. Think about that and how he got out. Talked about different things. And then he said, "The next person I kill." And I'm like, "The next person you kill? What do you mean the next person you kill?" He's like, "I'm just going to tie them up, chain them or tie them up, tape them up to a chair or whatever." He said, "I'm going to make you pull the trigger." I looked right dead at him. I said, "I'll never be you." That's the exact words I said. "I'll never be you. I'll never do nothing like that." He laughed. He said, "Yeah, there's ways." He said, "There's ways." And he laughed. Big evil grin from ear to ear. And he said, "Be something to find your son." He said, "It'd be something to find Jeremy." He said my son's name. "Jeremy on the side of the road with his neck broke. Not nobody knowing how it happened. Just on the side of the road with his neck broke." Hearing that about my boy, I looked at him dead eye. I looked at my brother dead eye. Because at that moment I didn't care, live, die, what it was. He had a weapon. I didn't at that time. I looked right at him dead eye. And I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Never mind, buddy. Never mind." Because he knew he was getting to me. He knew he was getting to me. He knew he was hitting that point. Then he's like, he was talking about killing and how he wanted to do the family. How he was going to take, at that time, my sister's baby was a newborn baby. Well, Gracie was just born. Just a little girl. Because Angela Angel had called the law and stuff on him so many times and got him in trouble. He was going to kidnap the baby, take the baby in the mountains, hang her in a tree, her alive, and skin her. He's going to skin her and let the family find her like that. He said then he would walk through each one of the family members, kill every one of the family members, except for one, my Uncle John Paul, the one that sat on stand and took up for him. And then he said he would put the weapon up under his seat, because he always left his doors open. He knowed he could frame him with the weapon. I remember this during this time. He put the gun to my head. He was sitting there like, and he was just gritting in my head. That's why I got that mark right there. That's how I got that mark. He took the sights of the weapon and right down. I felt a little bit of drop of blood where he poked it in. Then he went to my side, and I remember when he poked the weapon in my side because he had the finger on the trigger, and I thought he'd shot me. Sweat automatically broke my face and everything. It was running down. He cut my side. My shirt was open. It cut my side. I remember the sweat mixed in with the blood. It stung. It stung. It was stinging. I remember him taking the weapon and just grinding it into my side, and it was just like, and he was sitting there just twisting and everything. And I said, "Promise me one thing." He said, "What's that?" I said, "If you're ever going to try to kill me, you at least do it like Dad said to do it. Man to man, fist to fist. Be a man about it. Don't be a coward about it." He moved the weapon away then. He put it up under his leg. He had the weapon up under his leg. Put it up under his leg. He said, "I don't know about that. You know too much of that kung fu stuff." That's exactly what he said. That's the exact words he said. And I said, "Yeah, and if I get my hands around your neck, you're done." And he's laughing around. There wasn't nothing funny about that. Nothing funny at all about that. As we was going through Harlan, he was sitting there and he was doing chants. He would sit there and he would go, his eyes would go up back in his head and he would go, "Money, money, 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 come to me, money, money." And he was scaring the hell out of me. There was no joke. There was no joke. He was chanting. He was chanting words that I don't even know what he was saying. He did not care. His exact motto was, everybody has the expiration date, and he is the stamper. For kids, he's doing them a favor by killing them. That way they don't have a chance to grow up and go to hell. Now you think about that. You want me to take a lie detector test on that? Any day. Any day. Any day. My brother gave me two stories that night about how much money he got. First, he said they was a little bit over $400, and then he said he got a lot of money, and then he said he buried it. But I think he just told the story because with Shelby, when you deal with Shelby, you have to understand there's always a little bit of truth with everything he says, just a little bit of truth. But then he bases the lies around the truth. Now, I was never on trial for that. I was never ever one that was even accused. What you trolls have done to me, well, we'll see what happens now. I concluded my investigation last night. on who you guys are. You see, I wasn't on hardly all day yesterday because I was working. I was figuring out who certain people are and who your real identities is, or who you really are. That way I can turn it in. Um, I got a couple more to go. A hard one was Missouri Mama, but then Kansas City, Missouri, that kind of come into play. And then I started finding out some actual mutual friends. Well, not mutual friends, but people who are actually acquaintances and know who that person is. And then how she ties into all of this. And then I look back about 8 months when she first started. You see, I am a bounty hunter. And when we get that lead, we stay on that lead. We stay on that lead. That's something you'll never know nothing about because you're not part of that family. You'll never be part of that family. People will tell you, you can have anything in the world after you. You can get away from it, but you cannot escape a bounty hunter. Benny, you want to know what blood money means? It's no bounty hunter term. It's a bounty hunter term. It's not your term. It's a bounty hunter term. Family all across this nation. I built those networks years ago. I was the one that traveled and built those networks. You see, what I built up cannot be destroyed. When kids went missing, we had a thing. We got a thing called the Future Recovery Network. It's a big net. It's a huge net. If I'm in Tennessee and I got a fugitive out in California, I can get on there and I can say, "Hey, who's on in California?" And within minutes' time, there'll be a bounty hunter answer, bondsman or someone of that nature, future recovery agent, whatever you want to say. It's all slang term. It's all slang. Same. SAME. I know you guys know how to spell. I'm on. What you got out San Bernardino? About 20 minutes out. Hey, can you do a spot check for me? Yeah. That bounty hunter can go and do a spot check. Under the laws and regulations, he's now got a financial interest in it if I want to pay him. He can make arrest after I fax him the proper paperwork. He can make that arrest because he's got a financial interest in it. Now, if we can do that with fugitives who don't want to be found, you think about what we can do with children who would love to be found. You see, I come up with that. That's my deal. That's mine. All mine. I invented that. I took an old, very usable force and I upgraded it to even more. That's why I keep saying you have to become more. Guys, I don't have, like I've said many times, I don't have a teleprompter about me. I don't have one around me. I'm not no famous speaker, but you'll not beat what my experience is. You'll not do it. When it comes to tracking, you'll not beat me. You'll not beat my tracking experience. I sit there and I lie and I bullshit with you all, making you all give that one mistake out. I now know why and the connections. BDAC, I say this to you. I have nothing against you, nothing at all against you. Do your own homework. I feel you've been led astray. Do your own homework. With that, I've got a lot of projects I'm coming up on, working on right now. YouTube's not my full expense. I mean, it's not what my whole life's about. But why would I take someone who wants to join my life now and it shambles me with nothing and pull someone else into my life? Why would I do that? Just for them to go through the same what I'm going through? I put it off this far. I can wait some more. I can wait. I wouldn't want to. There's no way I would want to take a beautiful lady in right now. What am I going to bring her to? What do I have? Think about it. I have nothing. All my stuff was destroyed. Everything I have was destroyed. I don't even have a vehicle. Why don't I have a vehicle? Why don't you ask these other people here? You know what I like to have track on your vehicles and stuff everywhere you go. I mean, you see them, admit to it, right? You know what it's like to be tracked every. It's no fun. It's no fun. So even though I ain't a celebrity, I still get treated like one from that aspect of it because if people find out where I'm at, hey, I'm bomb rushed, right? I'm not bomb rushed by fans. I'm bomb rushed by lies and cops, police. So think about that. Why would I want to try to start a new life? Which I got to start somewhere. But look what I'm going through. I mean, how hard is that? And now I'm just coming up to, just now coming up to realize that, hey, I do have a mental health problem. I do. I see that over and over and over and over in my head. Where do I go? What do I do? And many a times I thought about some things on life. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I told a story one time when after this happened with my brother, how I was outcast of the family. I was outcast. Wrote off every single will, wrote off all properties, everything, because I did the right thing. I did what I thought was right. I did what my dad taught me to do growing up, but I was outcast from it. Black sheep of the family. I had to watch my family die. I watched them die, one by one die. Did I have that relationship as I once had with my mama? No, no. I haven't been back at my mama's since that happened, just to keep trouble down, just to keep trouble down. People don't talk about when my brother called my stepdad, and he was talking about trying to get his hammer because he knew he was going to go kill Ronnie King. He knew he was going to kill him. My brother said it himself when he had Ronnie King all tied up and taped or whatever. He said he didn't want to shoot him because of the noise. He said he went through the house looking for something to knock his brains out with. If you're going to go through the house looking for something to knock someone's brains out with, you automatically, that's premeditated. That's premeditated murder. He told me the reason he did it because his kid got sick, mold. They said they had mold. But my brother always had a reason to do stuff. He always had a reason. My brother's one of those people who gives shirt off his back to you. You cross him anyways, he'll sit there and wait on you. The guest that I'm going to have, Amanda, he was going to break her neck and put her in a car accident. And that like the car accident broke her neck because she was late. Because she was late. Guys, he drew pictures. He drew pictures of what he wanted to do to her body. Did you know my brother was also, he raped prisoners, right? He RA, whatever y'all want to say it on here. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys when it comes to SA and RA and RP, whatever the hell you got terms for. I'm not into that. I'm a straight person. I shoot forward straight. I'm not one of those people who gets offended really easy. I don't believe in the bullshit, the pussyism. I don't believe that. I believe in sticking straight forward to story and what it is. I don't sit there and I don't sugarcoat shit, especially when it's got something to do with murderers or pedophiles or child predators. I don't sugarcoat nothing. That's why I'm who I am and you're who you are. That's the difference between me and you. Now, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I can't. That's not me. If I was to try to sugarcoat something, you know what? I'm not being genuine with you. I'm not being real with you. I'm not being 100 with you, right? I'm not being at 100 with you. Just make sure everybody gets the terminology right. But what I am is me. That's it. Now, if people would have gave me time to tell my story, I would have told the story. I've not told this story to many people. Only people in courts, only people has heard this story, and a couple more people. That's it. My brother used to take girls after Bible school. They'd come up to the house. They liked me and they liked him. And he would hold them down in the yard and force himself on them. Did you know that? He did that. Been caught many times doing that. Him and my sister, well, he sexually abused my sister over and over and over and over. So there. To me, when I think about that, that makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. Sickening. To him, it's a delightment. Big difference. Big difference. So think about that. Let's take us a break here, guys. I'm going to have to get some drink. I'm going to have to get something a little bit different than this.